Good afternoon. This is Dr. Cheek. I just finished grading your assignments for. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Cheek. I just finished grading your assignments for your homepage, your problems, and solutions. It appears that all of you were able to use Canva Pro, and it was fairly simple. Our real problem was moving over to the website. I'll work out in future semesters, and I apologize for the problems you had. So let's look at the final assignments. All your grades are in place. Let's look at the final assignments. Let's see what you got left to do. Let's start off first by saying, where has our journey taken us? This is what we hope to do in weeks 1 through 4. We get through modules 1, 2, and 3. Weeks 5 through 8, we would do modules 4 and 5. The reason we weren't able to maintain the schedule was the introduction of generative artificial intelligence. And once we brought generative artificial intelligence, most of you had not heard of it, most of you had not used it, certainly not to the depth that we were going to use it. Rather than 1 through 4, we were 1 through 5, almost into week 6. So unfortunately, we didn't get into the next modules. So let's look what our accomplishments have been and what challenges or what unfinished work do we have left. The highs. I introduced you all to the Cheek Generative Artificial Intelligence for Entrepreneurs model. And I showed you, I hope and convince you that the powers of artificial general intelligence. Here on out, when you see anything about it, almost everything's going to refer to it as AGI, meaning artificial generative intelligence. I gave you the foundation and key components to a successful website, and we sort of took that over from 440. And I showed you how the tools, which Canva, ChatGPT, Google Bard, and Microsoft Bing could be used. And then many of them, in many instances, for example, ChatGPT 4 in Canva could be put together and make life a whole lot simpler. Unfinished work. Well, we didn't have enough time to build a lot of content. I wanted you to get deeper into your prompts, so we didn't have time to do that. Another thing that we did over on the modules 4 and 5, I want you to have a lot of content. We can measure the traffic coming in. I wanted to do some ways to linking to your audience. And the whole key is building brand, and we didn't get there, and I was disappointed. Let's talk about the remaining assignments, and 2 social media articles, 100 points each. Now, these deliverables are right in Moodle, and you can see them. So you're going to do 2 social media articles, 100 points each, be designed for 2 different social media platforms. Whatever you use, you can do a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter link, but do 2 different platforms. Articles must be visually appealing and align with aesthetics of whatever platform you're doing. Keyword integration. You've already found the relevant keywords and identified them in the previous research. Use them in this article. Target audience focus. I want to know, you know what your target audience is. I want you to focus on those articles. Tailor the content to address the interests and the needs of your audience. Content value. Each article, if you're not adding something of value, don't post the article. It's got to be something, it's got to solve a problem. When you post an article, it's a problem that you know your audience has, and you're posting content that's going to solve one of those problems. Don't just put something out there to be throwing things against the wall. You're going to go out and post some content. Documentation. I want you to submit a little brief report explaining the choice of social media platforms, keywords used, and the rationale behind the design choice. So what you're going to do is you're going to put all these things into your article, and you're going to give me the link to the Canvas so I can see them, but then you're also going to attach a little article. It's going to be a paragraph long, 2 paragraphs at most, explaining what you did. Rubrics for grading, design creativity, 30%. I want to see the visual design in Canva. There's so many chances, there's so many things available. I want to show you creative in the layout and the use of visual elements. keyword integration. I want to make sure you have keywords there, and I want to make sure the keywords are relevant to your content and to your audience. I want to see that you've addressed your audience and platform appropriateness. What you're going to put LinkedIn, you're not going to put on Twitter or Instagram. Clarity and coherence. They'll keep it simple, stupid. What people tell you, write to an audience as though they have 8th-grade education. If they have to look up a word, they're not going to look it up. Don't make them work. Keep it as simple as possible. By the way, the due date on this is December the 5th, 11:59. I put this out to give you guys some extra times. I know that's the last day of class and the last day of work for all of you guys. There's no final exam, so there's no extensions available. I got to get the grades turned in. So my hands are tied on that. All right, let's wear the final grades for the course. Right now, you have a total of 870 points. The social media articles, the first articles, each article is worth 100 points. I'm wrong. So 100 points and 100 points, it totals to 1,070 points. I'll change the slide, but it's 100 points. So we have a total of 1,070 points. All the grades are in Moodles. You look at my comments. I gave you comments on everything we did. We'll go back and revisit, negotiate past assignments. Those are recently graded. Certainly, I'll talk about those. Please contact me as soon as possible. I'm going to be up a deadline to turn in grades. Get these to me as quick as you can. Sorry about that, but it's 100 points and 100 points, a total of 1,007. So what does the future hold for you? After the spring semester, I'm going to make those sandboxes out there available to you until December 24th, but only if you contact me and tell me you want them. Now that I'm going to put a deadline of December the 10th. So if you want them and want to play with them, if you think you're going to want them, tell me and I'll leave them open, because on December the 11th, I'm going to wipe the others off. I've got a forthcoming book on the impact of artificial general intelligence on new organizations. Tentative date is February 24th. Actually, I'm trying to get it ready so I can use it in 440 class. The Kindle version is going to be $14.99. I'm probably going to put a $30 on the hard copy because I don't want to sell hard copies. I'm going to make it free to any former student. Now, here's one of the things that's going to be a little different about this book, and you'll probably find it in books in the future, that there's going to be continual updates. And every 6 months, I'll update the book, but there'll be continuous updates. And I'm going to charge you $4.99 for annually to get the continuous updates. And I'll make it free to my former students. The newsletters are available only to the book purchasers, and it'll be free to my former students. In the long term, remember, long term is relative. I'm 74, so take it where it is. You've got me as long as I'm here. Free lifetime consulting, good news, unbiased, frank opinion on what you're doing, planning to do. What you're doing or planning to do. The bad news, I have a great BS meter. I can tell when it goes off, and most of the time you're BSing yourself. And I'll blow the whistle on you real quick and tell you, stop kidding yourself. I'll make you put you in the mirror test. Look in the mirror and tell me honestly, do you really believe this? Total focus of everything I'll do, just like the course, is what's best for you. Access to almost unlimited investor funds if you need them. If you get something up and running and you need funds, I can get the funds for you. But they'll only do if I recommend it to them. Refer to my BS meter above. These are sophisticated investors that weigh heavily on whatever I recommend. So, I mean, that's a fact. So thanks again for taking my Management 440 course. Many of you is first exposure to artificial generative intelligence. To my knowledge, this course is the first to require the use of AGI and encourage students to find innovative ways because I don't know the innovative ways. Nobody does. I want you to develop a prompt library, and I hope you keep that prompt library and make you sure you know what I started to do was make sure every prompt was at least 135 words long. The deeper you put the prompt, the better you can get out, better information you're going to get out. And now remember, this is a rough draft, and from there, you have to mold it into to make it context for what you believe. This is only beginning chapter AGI and ChatGPT and everything else. And there's no experts in AGI. If they tell you they are, they're lying to you. The platform that I discussed with you 8 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago has changed dramatically now. And they'll continue to change it dramatically. When I say daily, almost hourly. And look, what you have to do is learn to expect they're going to continually change. They're going to continually get better. And that if you stay on the top of them, this is the greatest opportunity to wealth generation I've ever seen in my life. I took a poor boy and I was able to borrow 80% of the cost of building a construction site. I thought it could sell for $100,000, they'd lend me $80,000. And what I would do, if I could build less than 80%, I could make a profit before ever completing it. And I took that and got a wealth up to between $5 and $10 million. And so that was the old days of real estate. I don't necessarily think that approach still works now. I don't want the risk. But right now, in AGI, it's unbelievable opportunities. Everything right now is based on Web 2. And when we jump to Web 3, which is right around the corner, Web 3 is custom made to AGI. Very few people know how to use it. Jump in now, grab the opportunity, stay on top of it. I kept pushing you to find your niche. Find the niche where you want to be that you love and enjoy doing, and see how AGI can work there for you. And when you do that, send me some of the money you're making, okay? And the best news, none of this requires any program capabilities. So once again, thank you. You guys were like the pilot program for using AGI. I hope you're able to use it ethically as you go forward in other classes. I've enjoyed having you. Sometimes have been tough, but I hope that we work through them all together. If you have any problems, remember the drop dead date is January the 5th. So get back to me. I'd appreciate your comments. When it's all over, I think the grades are going to be pretty strong in the class because I've tried to be as fair as possible. So thanks again. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I enjoyed having you.